morning, everyone. I know it's been a while since we've gotten together, and my garden is in need of a lot of attention today. We have been so super busy. So I'm going to get out here and I'm going to harvest for one thing, because there's a ton that needs harvested. And then we'll see what else I can get done today. It's already getting pretty hot, so I don't know how much I'll get done this morning. Tomorrow morning might be a little better. This morning we had to take Sabrina to the vet first thing for a goat surgery, and I'm a little nervous about that. Hopefully it'll be okay. So it's already almost 10 o'clock this morning. We haven't done school yet today. We haven't gotten the garden yet today, and hopefully I can get something done. We'll see. We also have the guys out working on our wood boiler. If you've been following for a while, you know that our wood boiler has had problems ever since we got it. So apparently they think they're going to fix it. So we shall see what happens. So the blight is, it's horrible. It is all the way up in the tops of my tomato plants. I have been battling it, and some tomatoes are hardier than others when it comes to the blight. Some seem to be more susceptible, which I'm going to try to make note of in my gardening journal this year, because we obviously have a lot of it this year. And I think I'm not the only one. I think I've heard a lot of people are having blight this year. It's just been a rough year for us. Over here, we pulled out the rest of the potatoes, and the butterflies are all going crazy today. We have some Kajari melons that are getting pretty big up underneath of here. There's some nice looking ones. I keep watching them, see what they do. This melon, originally I thought I'd put two Kajari melons out here, but this one's actually Hearts of Gold Cantaloupe. But they are looking pretty good too. So I'll need to start keeping an eye on them, especially for pests on the undersides. When they're real green-blue like this, you know they are not ripe. The more yellow they start to get underneath that veining, that's the best way to tell when a cantaloupe is ready. Something I'm really noticing is that we're getting a lot of molehills in the garden. I guess we're getting a problem. Something that I'll have to keep an eye on. We pulled all the carrots. I need to work on getting the last few beets pulled out of this row and rework this ground. This will need to be reworked for whatever we're going to put here. Sorry about my plastic bag. But see these molehills? Good grief, look at that. Crazy. This is my pumpkin forest. I've been trying to keep an eye on them as much as possible, but as you can see, that is there's not a whole lot I can do at this point to keep an eye out for squash bugs and things that in the middle of that patch. In fact, this is why I wanted a bigger pumpkin patch, so I could spread them out more. So I check the edges of them once a week, twice a week if I get time. And the plants that are still kind of by themselves. Other than that, there's just not much I can do. It's a little bit crazy in there. So we have some fruit coming on, which is good. And we have a wheelbarrow that may be there until fall. Lots of pumpkin plants and winter squash. So as you can see, I have some tomatoes that need tied up. Plenty of that needs to be done. Lots of pruning that needs to be done. Lots of harvesting. Let's see if I can get through this end here. This end is my jungle. Seriously. Like, I've got melons and cucumbers and pumpkins galore coming down into this end where you can't even get out of it. See that? Craziness. So my okra started putting on, little okra, I think okra flowers are some of the prettiest flowers out there. They're just beautiful. Anyway, so what I'm finding is, because I've never grown okra, is like, okay, for example, this guy here is too big. I'll have to get some scissors. But this one should be about perfect. Whoops, missed one. So I need to get out here. I see another great big one, and I don't know much about okra. Can you tell me, they seem like they're really woody if you let them get too big. Is that normal? And should I never let them get that big pretty much? Because I'm guessing that's the problem. We have a lot of tomato splitting too. It has definitely been an issue this year. I have some varieties of tomatoes, like all of the little cherries are splitting. So there's not a whole lot you can do about that. It's part of the heat. The tomatoes expand in the heat, especially if it rains. It's even worse. That's a good tomato. But these here are the Russian, or purple Russian, that Baker Creek sent. They are seriously susceptible to split. These do have an excellent flavor. I was very pleasantly surprised by that. But they are so susceptible to split. I threw off about 5 or 6 the other day because they were split so bad that, yeah, like this one. Look at that. I mean, there's no salvaging that. Just a lot of work that needs to be done. Probably about time to harvest some more tomatillos. Yep. There's one there ready to go. See, these this is the purple tomatillo. They don't get real purple. I don't know if they did or didn't for other people, but for me, this is what they look like. They get a purple blush, and that's it. On this front trellis, I planted cucumbers and melons, which I've been trying to keep vining up. But I see a little baby. I'm betting that that is a Kajari. And the watermelon are coming through. You can see the watermelon leaves are different than the other melon leaves. And we've been harvesting a few cucumbers from down here. These were, I'm trying to remember what variety they were. They were a pickling cucumber seed that we got from the seed swap that the Stivers held in near their home. And the seeds were actually brought over from Chris, who is single dad homesteading. And these are some big cucumbers. They're huge. And actually I see one that probably got way too big under there. That's a monster. Oh my. Oh, whoops. He got missed. Been trying to keep an eye on this zucchini plant down here for squash bugs, these two, because they were easier to watch for. Our rooster likes to dust bathe over here a lot, so I actually have only found like one little spot of eggs on these so far, but I haven't checked them in a few days, so it's time to check them again. And then we have some weeding that needs done for sure. Hey. The baskets are over there if you want to.
No, I want you to get some coconuts. I picked a couple already.
Yeah, I picked a great big one over there on the ground. You can go over there and look at it. So I planted the few tomatoes I had left here, and they are doing really well. And people ask me constantly, which I need to pick some of my garden mess up here. Would ask me constantly, I guess, in July-ish, is it too late to plant tomatoes? And I would tell them, no, not at all. In fact, I just put some in the ground, and they are doing very well. So they need to be weeded, but other than that, they're doing very well. Along this end of the fence, I planted some sweet potatoes, not doing so well. But that's okay. That's all right. And there's an okra on the end. What? There is okra, but you have to scissors or something to cut it with. And there's another one of those purple Russians. That's just gross. And there's some more down here. See? Susceptible to split just so badly. Over here in our watermelon patch, there's the baby watermelon. Isn't he cute? I think this spotted leaf one is the Moon and Stars melon. We only had one make it. It was one of Sawyer's. And the melons are going crazy. I tried to train them to start with, but it doesn't take long for them to grow. Here is our pole bean trellis, and for whatever reason, all of my pole beans on this half, none of them came up. I think they were the cannellini pole beans, which I'm very disappointed about. I may try planting some again. I don't know. I have some down here that are different kinds. I have butter beans and stuff like that. And then the bush beans are just starting to put flowers on. And you can see they never came through a whole lot, so we're not going to get a ton, but that's okay. The way I handle that is I watch Roots and Refuge. And Jess says, oh, these purple potted beans are great. And I planted them for the first time last fall. So guess what? I bought purple potted pole beans. And I'm going to plant some of those. And that way they'll be easy to find. I don't have to bend down to pick them. And hopefully they'll be very prolific. And we'll have plenty to can.
Yes. I want my Slim Jim.
Didn't you eat your Slim Jim?
I want mine.
You're lucky you got one, buddy. So it looks like we got some peppers that need harvested.
Where's the hottest pepper in here?
Probably the Arapaho, which is on the end.
This?
Well, that one, yes, but that one's not getting any flowers. This is my Tabasco pepper, and I'm starting to see some buds on it just now because it hadn't had anything at all. That one, but that one's not ready. They get red when they're ready. That's the Arapaho. Sorry it's so noisy. They're over there working on that wood boiler. Hopefully we don't have issues with our heat this winter like we did last winter. Yeah. So the garden's doing pretty well. Other than, the blight. Other than blight and things like that. It's growing. It's growing very well, and it's August, but we're still going to get a lot of food out of this garden. Wow, what a neat color. I hadn't seen any like that yet. Thank you. Up here we have a few volunteers. I think it's probably a cantaloupe. I'm not sure. I think there's 2 of them. In here are the peanuts. They have these pretty little dainty yellow flowers. Aren't they cute? And then back here, our cotton has been blooming. And there's a flower here. Pretty, aren't they? And then they close up and they look like this. This is our first time ever growing cotton. We're kind of doing it just for fun. This zucchini I've been keeping an eye on for pests. I'm going to get ready to check it. And then behind it, we have an orange glow watermelon that I don't see any fruit on yet, but I'm hoping soon. Sunflowers are mighty. Quite mighty. There's some down here that are kind of a pretty brown shade. And then we have several colors up here. So, go ahead.
Pick it.
Good job. And that one got too big too. We got some big ones out here. Put it in the basket. I think we're going to have to go get another basket. Yep.
We're going to have a bunch of bigger ones to eat too.
I don't know. There's another big one back by the fence over there underneath the leaves.
Oh yeah, there's.
And there's 2 of them. Yeah, there's several.
Oh my gosh.
It is so hot and miserable out here. But I've been thinking to myself as I've been picking tomatoes, And I did see a couple of ladybugs on one of my zucchini plants earlier, and I was like, oh, look, we have ladybugs. But we really don't have any aphids this year. And I was like, you know, it's kind of nice we don't have any aphids. But then I came over to harvest the okra, and I have aphids all over the okra. So it will be a neem oil night, which it's time anyway. But look at this. See the little aphids and ants everywhere? Yeah. All over. Yeah, the Amos collies still need to be picked. But what I really need to do is go get me another harvesting basket because we need a fourth one. Because I still have to do peppers too, and there's a whole basket worth of tomatoes at the end of this row.
Looking for, and I was over here. I knew she was in the tomato patch.
I was going to set this down before you set the tomatoes in.
Came over and I couldn't even find what row she was in. Looking down through there. It's a little bit on the bushy side. I doubt that.
Pardon the noise back behind us, but the welder's running. This is today's harvest minus the basket of cherries Isabel took in and a few extra things we haven't gotten to yet, like the ground cherries and the rest of the tomatillos. And Gabriel is ecstatic. Aren't you, Betty? He is ecstatic. You what?
I didn't think we were gonna get this much.
Is it incredible? Yeah. Yeah, this is crazy, guys, because now I have to do something with all of it.
It's like Jess on one of the chat. Remember that picture? She had all those tomatoes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You like Jess, don't you? No.
Alright, let's go get some more of these tomatillos.
Okay. Okay. He's got a shirt full of tomatillos. I know it's kind of difficult to hear, so I'm going to try to keep the camera close to me. You know, my garden's not perfect, guys, and it has weeds, and it has blight, and it has pests, but that's okay. We're still getting plenty to put back. We are really blessed. I mean, the Lord has really blessed us, and you know, just give thanks every day for the wonderful things in your life and be grateful. Be grateful for the small garden you might have. If it's a tomato plant in a pot, that's okay. Be grateful.
Wow. Look at this. Gosh, can't wait to show you the guys in wagon. We're gonna be canning tomatoes.
Yes, we are going to be canning tomatoes. Have a blessed day, everyone.